Michael and I definitely also want to start by just thanking ownership, thanking our fans, thanking the staff, thanking the players, the people who were around every single day, for their commitment, for their belief and the hard work that they really put in. The 24-25 season, as you guys can imagine, was not the easiest to navigate, but I feel like we did so with great energy and great connectedness. While I'd say the season was far from linear, we finished off on a good note. And it wasn't just Bub hitting that shot, which was obviously awesome to see and great to hear the call from that one. It was pretty inspiring. But just the last 2.5+ months, kind of how we finished the season. So we felt like we wrapped up the year feeling a little bit more optimistic about the direction that we're still slowly trying to build towards, and we're slowly starting to climb. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the year, the season was meant to be one of exploration, and with that comes a lot of the unknowns. With that comes a lot of discomfort. With that comes a lot of the growing pains that you expect, and we felt a lot of those throughout the year. But I think, unfortunately, it actually started at the very beginning of the year in training camp, where we had a lot of injuries, and unfortunately we closed the season with a lot of injuries. So that kind of set us back a little bit and kind of threw us off. But through it all, we got to see more from different players, and that next man up mentality is something that I think our guys really rallied around. And those opportunities that they got early on, which probably weren't earned, more given, those opportunities allowed us to be in a better spot at the end of the season. And for us moving forward, we will always want to be playing our best basketball towards the end of the season. That's the goal for any team in the NBA, and I think we did that this year. So that's an accomplishment for us. To take it away from basketball, I'll get back to kind of on the floor a little bit later. The players came in here on Monday, answered some questions from you guys about what it's like to play here. From the answers I was able to read and the answers that they gave Michael and I in the exit interviews, I feel like we made some progress, and we made a lot of deposits into the culture, which is important to us. I think the number, I was talking to our PPE group, the players did close to 90 different community activations this year. If you include the staff, which didn't do all of them with the players, it was over 100. And that's really what we're talking about. So while we're not chipping away at the final score of each game to the level we want to do yet, we definitely made some positive strides into our environment and into the community and making cultural deposits. And that's something that's always going to be top of mind for us and something we're always going to continue. So we did all that by showing up, what we talked about, by being a little bit more competitive towards the end of the season, and then evolving how we play. And we talked about where we're at as an organization. It was very much still a continued cycle of discovery season for us. I think we were top 5 in age again this season, one of the top 5 youngest teams all season. Beginning of the year, opening night, I think we started our youngest opening night roster in Wizards history. We set the record for most starts in the history by players under 21 in the season. So it was obviously a very young group. The rookies that we drafted, that we had from the beginning of the season, a couple of them dealt with injuries, but all 3 of them still got over 1,800 minutes. And that's the first time a trio of rookies have gotten 1,800 minutes in over 20 years. So for us, we're pouring into the future. We're pouring into those young guys, and we expected it to be a little rocky. Being completely honest, we stumbled a really good amount out of the gate, but I do think we found a little bit more of a rhythm towards the end of the season. Stylistically, under Brian, it was the first year completely where he had the training camp to kind of do what he wanted to do. I thought he did a really good job of giving guys opportunity, letting them play through mistakes, but also holding them accountable and making sure the environment every single day was one that was repeatable. And when you watch us on the court offensively, we continued to play with pace. I believe we were top 4. I think we finished 4th this year by the end of it in pace. That's top 5 pace 2 years in a row. There's only one team that was able to do that other than us in the last 2 years. So we've continued to play fast, even though adding different players. But what I was probably more impressed with is while we were playing fast, we changed our shot diet. And for us, that was important. I believe it was 34% of our shots this year were from three, and that would put us top 10 in the NBA. Obviously, it's a huge help when you have Jordan Poole having the season that he had to help us make the most career threes individually, but as a team we made them as well. I believe we put out a stat that we had 3 rookies make over 100 threes as well, which is the first time ever in NBA history. So the game's evolving, these players are growing, our styles got to change. So while we played fast, we also took more efficient shots. But I think it all started by moving the ball, being less sticky. We all watched it the year before and the ball wasn't moving enough. So we wanted to make sure we were doing that. Last season we were 19th in total passes, and this year we were 7th. So the ball was moving, we were sharing it, we were still playing fast, and we were taking more threes. That's kind of where the game is going. And as we continue to develop and put some time in on the basketball court, hopefully those shots go in a little bit more. But we were finding and taking the right shots and playing the right way. But defensively, we will be known as a defensive team. We weren't good enough this year. Especially at the beginning of the year, we struggled mightily early. I think as guys, it's going to sound weird, but as guys got older throughout the year, they definitely got more comfortable playing, using their hands, not fouling as much, being in the right position, knowing what players can and can't do, learning players' tendencies. I think we made a few moves at the trade deadline to add some defensive-minded vets as well, and I think that's when you kind of saw the system that BK wants moving forward. And probably I'd say that February to mid-March, before we took that 13-day, 7-game road trip where we had a couple guys go down for the season, we were a top 15 or so defense in the NBA. So not where we want to be, but a lot closer to what we want it to look like. So for us, we saw some things on that end as well and made marginal improvements in specific areas we were looking to do as well. So we're getting closer. But again, I got to give a lot of credit to the guys. The environment when you walked in every day, we asked them for it to be a 0-0 mindset. Like no win, no loss, no losing streak, no win streak, whatever it is, we come in with the same mindset every day. And I think that's what allowed Jordan Poole to have the year that he had. I think it's what allowed Corey Kispert to have to grow and become the leader that he grew into. It allowed Justin Champagnie, who I'm so proud of, someone who completely bought into the system, who worked his behind off through the jump season, went through summer league, played with the Go-Go, really invested in that program. And quick shout out to Cody and the Go-Go in the season that they had. I thought they were tremendous this year until they took some injuries. Hopefully the awards are coming out here soon, I think later today. Hopefully we'll have some guys on first team as well. I just thought that the Go-Go did a good job this year. But JC just embracing and immersing the player development system the way he did, establishing himself as an NBA player this season. I was very proud of him. But I can go on and on about our players. I think Bilal took some major steps defensively. Obviously, you guys know about the 4 rookies, and I'm pretty sure you'll ask questions about them, so I'll save that for later. But having that group and then adding high-level vets like Malcolm and Chris and Marcus, we're not supposed to have those kind of guys when you're going through a rebuild like ours. Like, they were so helpful and impactful. So post-trade deadline, I think we started to see what Wizards basketball is going to be and what it's going to look like, and that was a positive sign. So around here, we talk about it all the time. We're going to acknowledge the growth. We are going to celebrate every small win. We're going to keep our head down and keep stacking days, keep working hard until we look up, see where we're at, put our head back down, and get back to work. You've heard it time and time again, but we realize we're still in that early phase of fighting for sustained success. Like, that's what we're trying to get here, our longevity, where when we enter into the playoffs, it's us there for a while, not in and out. And to do that, we got to build slowly and build the right way. And while we understand we're not close, we are closer. And that's the goal every single season. And I do feel like we laid some bricks to the foundation this year. And now that the season is officially over, we sat down with the guys, and my message was, from the time you guys all ran out on the court to go celebrate with Bub to the time we officially picked the ball up, October 1st for training camp, there's 170 days. 170 days. There's 365 days in the year, so that's roughly 46% of the year that we're off. Like, we can't be off. We have to turn that into time where players are getting better, teams getting better, everybody's taking a jump. And I kind of challenge them to be different players when they come back.